The other day, I got a comment on one of my YouTube videos. Could you please do a lower body exercise of Isshin-Ryu? So the lower body basics. And I immediately said to myself, oh, I must have done a video of the lower body basics. And I searched my channel, and lo and behold, no lower body basics video. So here's the lower body basics video. Okay, so the lower body basics, there's 15 of them in Isshin-Ryu. So the first 3 are stretches. Okay, first one being feet together, toes are curled up, and you touch the floor. So you touch the floor. We normally do it 10 times. And when we do it, you don't let your knees bend. So a lot of people do this. No. The knees are locked. They don't bend at all. You go down, you feel the stretch in the back, and you come back. I lean back a little bit, and I go back and forth, and I do this 10 times, okay? So that's lower body exercise or lower body basic number 1. Number 2, we're going to grab the toes of our right foot with our right hand, okay? And we're going to put our left hand on our right knee, and we're going to extend the leg 3 times, pressing down on the knee. On the third one, we're going to hold it. Then we put it down. So from the side, it looks like this. And just as an aside, I'll be doing almost everything on my right leg. My left knee, I have a bit of an issue with. So if I do kick with the left knee and the kick doesn't look so great, understand you don't want your kick to look like that. All right, again, left knee issue. Right knee's pretty good, so I'll be doing most of the stuff on the right leg, knowing you should do everything on both sides, right and left, okay? So again, the second one is a leg extension. We come up, grab toes of your right foot, press down, extend it 3 times, and hold it on the last one, and then place it down. All right. So on that one, if you find yourself losing your balance, it usually means you need to bend the knee on the supporting leg a little bit more, and then I'll help with the balance. Okay. And like I said, this would be then done on the left side also. All right. The third one is a squat thrust. Okay. So the squat thrust, we come out like this. I normally extend my arms. My toes are pointed up at the ceiling, and I stretch this way. And then I would go on the other side and stretch the other side, which I can't get down as low because of that bad knee, but I come here, okay? So that's the third one. So those are the first 3 lower body basics or lower body exercises of Isshin-Ryu Karate, okay? All right, so now let's go to the kicks. So the first kick is a front kick, ball of the foot. The ball of the foot is located just behind the toes. That's what we'll be kicking with. So we want to curl our toes back. So what we want to do is we want to be in Seisan stance, and we want to bring the knee up. So this knee up position is going to be important because we're going to do this for a bunch of the kicks, and we want it to become consistent. So front kick, ball of the foot is a snap kick where the foot goes out and comes right back. All right. So from here, goes out and comes back. Now, when I was first trained in Isshin-Ryu, I was told to kick for the groin. I went to Okinawa. I saw some of Master Shimabukuro students kicking to the head, some of his young kids, right, very flexible. And I asked him, I said, Sensei, where should the focus point be? He goes, well, in kata and basics, he goes, the solar plexus. In self-defense, you kick lower, but work on kicking a little bit higher to stretch the leg. And he said, it's okay to kick to the head sometimes too, to really stretch your legs. So, you know, now that I'm pushing 62, I mean, even myself, I sometimes, when I'm doing the front kick, I still kick high to the head. Normally, I'm focusing to the solar plexus. And the key on the front kick is you see a lot of people in Isshin-Ryu do these short little kicks. No, your leg has to fully extend, okay? So the leg goes out and comes back, and it snaps back. So you want to cock the leg, fire the foot, and bring it back and step down. Now, in my dojo, the way that we do the basics is, if we're here, I normally count each. The right foot comes forward, knee, and the left foot kicks. And then we go back 1, 2, and we do the next one, okay? But some people like to do all the kicks on the right leg first, then all the kicks on the left leg, whatever makes you happy. right? We do 1, 2. We're consistent when we do our upper body basics. It's each knee, step back, and do the next one. So it's the same with our kicks. All right, so that's the front kick. So again, we want to cock that leg, the foot fires out and comes back. The second kick, which will be the 5th lower body exercise, is front kick, blade edge of the foot. So now the blade edge of the foot is right here along the side of the heel. You want to curl the toes back and thrust the heel edge of the foot out. So when I'm here, again in Seisan, I come up to this position again. And now the foot goes on a 45-degree angle, turning the heel in. So it comes up, out, back, and down. And if I was doing the next kick, out, back, and down. On this kick, don't lean. Keep your body straight up. Focus about your own knee height. I will sometimes do it to my hip height, again, working those leg muscles. But most of the time, I do it to the knee. But again, it comes up from here. So when I come up to here, people don't know what kick I'm throwing. Then I let the kick go on a 45-degree angle, curling the toes and thrusting out. So from the side, it looks like this, comes up here, out, back, and down. So 5th lower body basic, front kick, blade edge of the foot. Next kick is the crossover stomp kick. So again, right leg's back, Seisan dachi. I'm going to bring that up to that same spot and thrust. And now I'm kicking with the heel. So the toes are curled back and I'm stomping with the heel. Comes back up, I place it down. The other leg comes up, over, back up, place it down. So from the side, comes up, back up, and down. And again, these are basics. They're the kihon. All right? So lift the leg up, thrust down with the heel. So on the first 3 kicks, front kick, ball of the foot, front kick, blade edge of the foot, and crossover stomp kick, we're kicking with the heel. So right off the bat, we're getting the 3 major parts of the foot that we're kicking with. Now, on the front kick, ball of the foot, if you want to kick with your toes, that's fine, okay? But if they're not conditioned, I don't recommend it. Keep in mind, though, in a self-defense situation, you're probably going to have shoes on. You're going to be kicking with the toes. You can't curl the toes back. You're going to be driving the point of your shoe or your sneaker or whatever you're wearing on your foot right into the opponent. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so we've done 3 kicks, 3 stretches. Those are the first 6 lower body exercise. Number 7 will be side kick, blade edge of the foot. We've already shown what part of the foot the blade edge is. Now we're going to kick directly out to the side. So in my dojo, when we do it, we place the hands here, again, especially for beginners. And then from here, the leg comes up and it's cocked. It's cocked just like I'm going to do a front kick. And then I lean, and as I lean, the leg goes out and comes back, and then I place it down. So if I'm doing with a little bit of vim and vigor, and then here and down. And then the switch, and I do the other side, okay? So, again, you're in a Seisan dachi. A lot of people have a tendency, they bring the foot up from here and throw the kick, which you're cutting back too much on your power. So you want to bring it into here, and then fire it, okay? So bring it in and fire it to the side. Again, thrusting out. And it goes out and comes right back. Don't overly turn your hip in, okay? You don't want to do that. That's where you start to have hip issues. So it goes out and comes back. Just as a side note, years ago, I happened to be in my office. The door opens, 2 guys walk in. One is a friend of mine from New York, Grant Campbell. With him is Bill Superfoot Wallace. Just happened to pop into my dojo. I wasn't even open at the time, but I was in there getting something in my office. So got to Grant, I knew a long time, got to talk to Bill Wallace. I asked him, hey, is there anything, you've come to realize that you do differently? He says, yeah, I wouldn't throw a side kick above my waist height. And this is one of the greatest kickers in the world. You can look him up on YouTube, Bill Superfoot Wallace. He said, I wouldn't throw a side kick above my waist height. Okay, so keep that in mind. When I was younger, I probably threw it about rib height, but that was the highest I ever really went with a side kick. So now that I'm older, I'm basically going my waist height. All right, so that's side kick, blade edge of the foot. So next is side kick, ball of the foot. So again, we're in Seisan, and in my dojo, we start here, and we pivot into cat stance. So the weight's mostly on the rear leg, and then it's literally a front kick to the side. We come down, we pivot, and it's the same thing here. And it's just a front snap kick to the side, okay? I didn't make the basics, okay? So again, why we do this kick, I don't know. We do have this kick a lot in the kata, so that's probably where it comes from. Remember, the kata came before the basics. So the basics in Isshin-Ryu come after the kata. They were created after. And in most martial arts, the basics are a later invention. The forms come first, then they realize they have to teach a large group, and they pull some moves out of the forms to create basics so they can drill these basics with a large group. All right? So again, the side kick, ball of the foot. Our hands come here. We pivot. The foot comes up just like a front kick, and we're here. So if I'm this way doing it, I pivot this way and throw the kick. And again, I always try to throw my kicks about solar plexus height and get nice extension on them. I don't throw these short kicks. Same way I extend my punch, I try to extend my leg. Okay, so next is a technique that's kind of unique to Isshin-Ryu. I haven't really seen it done in other styles. Maybe someone can correct me and say, oh no, we have that kick in our style. Okay, but in Isshin-Ryu, it's one of the few where I've seen we do this kick, which is the squat kick. And the squat kick, we start with the feet parallel in a natural position. And what we're going to do is we're going to dodge out to the side. So as we dodge out to the side, we're going to come here. Now here's the mistake everybody makes with this kick. They come over here and they kick here. But your opponent's over here. The person's in front of you, he's throwing a punch, we're ducking to the side. So when we duck on a 45-degree angle, that's what I don't go side, I drop in at a 45-degree angle, my hands are here. Now my foot is going to kick on the line it's on. So that's why it's a little bit different type of kick. And then I switch to the other side, and same thing. It kicks on that line. So again, it's a snap kick. So it's not a roundhouse kick. It's not a front kick. It's in between those two. So when I'm here, I drop out, kick. Here, kick. So that's your squat kick. So from this side, it looks like this. I drop out here, 45 degrees, kick. Then I drop here, 45-degree kick. So the squat kick. Next is the back kick. So the back kick, we're going to now start with the right foot forward because we always kick with the right leg first. So the right leg's going to be forward. When I teach it initially, I have people come up like this. I have them first look over their shoulder of the leg they're going to kick with so they can pick up the target. This comes up. Now I bend at the waist. It goes out and comes back. This kick, you're striking with the heel again. You're driving in with the heel. Later on, I combine a bunch of the movements. So I want people to do this. So they bend over and they bring the knee up in tight at the same time. As they do that, they're already bent over, and then they let the kick go. So again, as I do that, my head turns, I glance over my shoulder, pick up the target, and let it go. Then I do the other side and do the same thing there. Again, striking with the heel. So from the front, it comes up and it goes straight back. So you'll see a lot of people do this. Bring the knee out to the side and throw the back kick that way. It's not as powerful. It's also not as direct. So it comes into the center and it goes straight back and comes back. That's what we want to do. So what I tell students in the beginning, almost feel the inside of your leg against the other leg. So it goes straight back and you pull it back. And again, with all these kicks, it's important to work them on a heavy bag. a makiwara, pad work, whatever you're doing, even if you have a student there that you can focus on. So you want to have a target to focus on. It's important. So you want to get the feel of the lines of power when you're driving in these kicks. Be careful if you're working a heavy bag with certain kicks. Front kick, side kick, ball of the foot, squat kick. Very easy to break a toe. So you want to slow it down a little bit. Make sure your focus is good. Might be better off doing it on a pad first, okay, and then going to the heavy bag. A little bit easier with the makiwara because that's usually leaning in a little bit and straight, so it's a little bit easier to kick with the ball and not damage your toes. But just keep that in mind. Be careful when you first start working these kicks on a heavy bag or a makiwara to make sure you're in the right positions. You're kicking with the right part of the foot. Okay, so the next one. Next one is front heel push kick. So front heel push kick is exactly what it sounds like. Now the key to this is you want to pick the knee up, bring it up into your chest as much as possible, and then drive the heel out. So when I'm here, it's going to come up, my knee comes up into my chest very high, and I thrust the heel out. It's a push kick. It's not a snap kick. I do the same thing with the left leg. So from the side, I'm here, and this comes up, and I push with the heel. Push with the heel. Don't lean back when you push. Try to keep your back straight as you push. So one of the things I do in the dojo, I'll stand in front of various students. I'll cross my arms like this. I'll tell them to do the push kick on my arms and push me backwards. And especially when the beginners, they almost always push themselves back, which is another application for the technique. But eventually you want that supporting leg to be so strong that when you push with the other leg, you knock the person back. So that's what I do. I cross my arms like this. Again, another good kick. This is an excellent kick to work on a heavy bag or work on pad work with a partner. So again, the idea is you have to bring the knee up, way up into the chest. So see how high my knee comes up and then thrust. Okay? And again, I'm a little older. For all the young people watching this, get your knee up there. Thrust out chest high. Okay? Forget these videos where you see people doing the basics and they're thrusting low. No. High, chest height. Get the kick up there. Right? Be athletic. Last kick. Right leg is back. It's the knee kick. So normally we have one hand on our hip. We have the other hand extended open, and we bring the knee up into the hand. Okay? So here, knee kick, knee kick. Now, when I started, I was told to point the toes down because you want to focus the power in the knee. And if you're curling the toes back, you're putting stiffness in the ankle, so you're putting power in the ankle. Okay, but here's the problem. When I point my toes down, I'm still putting power in the ankle. So I came to understand that the foot should just be natural. So when I do the knee kick, and I'm here, I don't curl my toes back. I don't force my toes down. I just leave my foot alone and let it dangle. And I focus into the knee. So here and here. So you come up and strike the knee. So that's number 12. So we've got the first 3 are leg stretches. The next 9 are basic kicks. And then we have 3 more lower body exercises. But the next one's knuckle push-ups. I didn't make them, don't get mad at me. So, knuckle push-ups. So, I'm basically just going to show you how to do a good push-up. So, obviously, nice tight Isshin-Ryu fist. These first 2 knuckles are the only ones you're leaning on. So, if you come up and these 3 are red, wrong, these 2. So, it should be these 2. You should have 2 dots on them when you get up. Most people do these 3. You want these 2. Good tight fist will really help when you're first doing these. So I'll do them to the side so you can see. So I come down on my first 2 knuckles. My back is nice and straight. And I go down and come up. And again, no wobble in my lower back. Just up. okay? At the end of that, what we normally do, however many you decide to do, I normally do 25. So I lead the class through 25. At the end, I lean down and stretch my back and look up at the ceiling. And then I jump up and we go to number 14, the body twist. So number 14, the body twist. When someone first joins my dojo, I always joke when I first start showing them this, I say, okay, now you're going to learn the hardest thing you're ever going to learn in Isshin-Ryu Karate, the dreaded body twist. So here's how I teach it. Start on the left. 1, 2. Now as my arms come back this way, this leg goes the opposite and the body twists. So it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Now you notice my foot's swinging up pretty high. Now it's not a kick. So I see some people do this where they like throw like a front kick. No, this leg is straight and it just swings up. So again, 1, 2. See how it swings? Then 1, 2, swings. Okay, from the back, it looks like this. 1, 2, here. 1, 2, there. Okay, so that's number 14, the body twist. Last one is breathing exercise. So you'll see this done a few different ways. Some people like to do it with the feet together. They inhale through the nose and then exhale. I do it with my feet spread apart a little bit, okay? When I inhale, I try to force the air all the way down and that it comes around my body, similar like the concept in Sanshin. So I really try to expand my lungs. So when I come down, I inhale, exhale. So again, I normally do 3 of those, but if I'm feeling more winded and I need to catch my breath more, maybe I do a few more, but normally 3. So normally, when it comes to Kihon, whether it be the upper body or lower body, I'm doing normally a maximum of 2 each. So 2 each in terms of the upper body exercises and the 9 kicks. Everything else I do X amount of whatever I do, which I showed you here. But this idea of, spending a tremendous amount of time on the basics, I don't think so. I go through them kind of quick. I don't do the basics every night in my classes. If I have a more new people, then obviously we're doing them more so people can get those basics. But again, once they start learning kata, they're practicing all these basics in the kata. So there is a lot of material in Isshin-Ryu, and you want your classes to be varied. So you don't want to be spending, in an hour or an hour and a half class, you don't want to be spending 30 minutes, 45 minutes on the basics. And stop with the basics are the most important thing. They're the most important thing when you first learn them, okay? Because you don't know anything else. But once you start practicing kata, that's the truly important aspect of the art. And then all the partner work you should be doing, all the various partner drills, the self-defense techniques, the various kumites you should be practicing, okay? And then, we get into weapons, another aspect. So it's important. So understand that these basics are basic. They're giving you an early foundation. And yeah, you're always going to practice them, but don't fill up a class with basics. It's boring. It gets boring for the student. It's boring for the instructor. So I like to say when I was teaching in New York and I had so many senior black belts, there were a handful of my black belts that liked doing the basics. So when I didn't do the basics that much with my classes, because when they taught a class, they did the basics. So I would do other drills to replace the basics, something a little bit different, which I'll do a video on some of that stuff too. So you can maybe possibly add that as part of your Isshin-Ryu curriculum. Because just fun, different drills that you can do to a count. So similar to the basics, but the techniques are very different. So that's the lower body exercises. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'm sorry, I thought I had done this video already, but more than happy to get it done and get it out there for you guys. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Take care.